Welcome to Chumming with the Spirits editions of
Wax Stories on Wednesdays.
We're excited about this. We've been planning this for a long time. You know, just life's gotten in the way. Podcasts, stuff, events,
regular life, jobs. You know,
so the third mic set up because we were expecting OG, to be here, but he had some other things that he had to work. So
comes into play.
Today's wax story is coming to you straight from the Bermuda Triangle. Now, I know a lot of people know the Bermuda Triangle, and we say that right off the bat.
I don't know if that many people know about it anymore, to be honest with you, because the newest generation...
That's true.
I mean, the technology's gotten better, and people know where to avoid certain areas.
That's true.
We haven't had any major catastrophes in the Bermuda Triangle in a long time. Now, when growing up...
Oh, it was, in the 80s. I remember
they were talking about it. And then there's also the Bermuda Triangle in the Great Lakes.
Yeah. Or have you heard of the Kansas rectangle?
Yeah. It's called Kansas.
Whole rectangle's weird. But yeah, no, that's a very good point that the increase of technology has dwindled some of the interest in the weird.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just helped stop some of the weird. You know, magnetic storms or weather predictions, you know.
And we have a lot better understanding of the phenomenon around the world that are going on.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
But this wax story is about a commercial airliner.
Yeah, it was from what I read, it was the first commercial airliner to actually experience disappearance in the Bermuda Triangle in 1949. And it was...
Now, the note on that is it's a commercial airline.
Commercial,
there
not military.
Other military aircraft that lost before it, but this was the first time.
And boats way before then, the 1800s.
But this was like the first commercial airline to just disappear in that area.
And
which was pretty scary back then because 1949, that was
when
you dressed up, you were wearing suits and ties, and it was a big deal to be flying.
Yeah, it was expensive. But
not that it's cheap now.
The interesting fact to me when I was reading this story was that the communication loss that they experienced, the length of it was so the length of the communication loss that they recorded would have been the exact length of time it would have taken that airplane to reach its destination, which is very odd.
So why don't you go through the whole account?
You want me to read the story?
Yeah, read the story.
Let's read
the
story.
That's what everybody wants, is actually hear the story and see if you can actually read out.
Challenge accepted. Okay. On January 17th, 1949, the Star Ariel, a Tudor aircraft carrying 13 passengers to Jamaica, vanished in a matter of seconds after its last radio transmission. A replacement for the regular plane whose engine had failed, that's not necessarily a good sign to start off with. The Star Ariel disappeared over the Bermuda Triangle almost exactly a year after its twin plane, the Star Tiger, had disappeared. A search and rescue for a DC-3 plane that had recently disappeared in the same area had been called off the previous week. An hour into the flight, pilot J.C. McPhee radioed Bermuda to confirm good visibility as the weather forecast had predicted perfect conditions. Another hour later, he radioed again, saying that he was changing transmission frequencies to Kingston. That was the last time the Star Ariel was heard from. In spite of the good weather, the area was bothered by communication problems. Static, hazy reception, and complete blackouts occurred intermittently, and the Star Ariel was not the only plane to have troubles. The Star Ariel's communication problems lasted almost exactly the entire time it should have been in flight to its destination. During the investigation, it was noted that the failure of the aircraft to reestablish communication with Bermuda after failure to contact Kingston or any other Caribbean station must be assumed to have been because of an inability to do so. Really? Really? The Star Ariel
broke because it broke.
Must have vanished within minutes or seconds after contacting Bermuda. It is the rapidness of such disappearances that contributes to the unexplained mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. So, if anybody's curious about where I'm getting this excerpt from, it's a fun little book that I picked up at Half Price Books called "The Almanac of the Infamous, the Incredible, and the Ignored" by Juanita Rose Violini. It's got hundreds of like weird little stories and excerpts from all throughout history. But it broke because it broke.
Yeah. We assumed it couldn't communicate because it wasn't communicating.
That's a really in-depth investigation, let me tell you.
Well, I mean, I don't think they've ever found the plane.
No.
And that's the other part. What they're saying, within seconds after communication loss, they should have known based off the radio transmissions roughly where the plane was at. And with it losing communication within seconds, they should have been able to have a search party out in that area and found the wreckage, but they didn't.
And so I'm going to find it here in a second, but the Star Tiger incident's actually in here.
The sister plane?
The sister plane that went down beforehand. And if I'm not mistaken, that was a non-commercial military.
Probably cargo.
Cargo, yeah. But
any day now.
I'll find it here in just a second.
Under the magic of editing.
What do you think could be some of the possibilities of why unexplained things are happening over certain areas of the Earth, like the Bermuda Triangle?
Well, things break. And then they're broke, and then they don't work. Actually, the Bermuda Triangle's had weird electrical phenomenon for a long time. And in the early days of navigations, especially with planes, well, I mean, ships have been lost at sea out there, to coral reefs. There's a lot of things. The early days of avionics, the electronics in there were fairly frail and fragile.
Because they were glass.
Yeah, there was a lot more glass than what people realized. Tubes, that technology didn't handle vibrations very well, didn't handle lightning strikes very well, didn't handle most of the things that now modern day technology for planes can handle.
Well, and they were all based on, they didn't have satellites. Everything was based on line of sight. There was no relay systems.
I mean, you could fly blind based off your compass, but they've had weird magnetic anomalies in the Bermuda Triangle show up, meaning where your magnetic compass starts going in circles.
Yeah.
There's a lot more phenomenon there that they do contribute to some of the people getting lost. Like the big one for the military was they lost a squadron of, I forgot what type of planes, but they're trainers, that experienced pilots going out for a training run, went to the Bermuda Triangle, they've not found those planes since.
I do remember hearing about that.
Not only did they lose them, they also lost like 2 rescue planes going after them in clear day. There was not a storm, there wasn't anything weird. So on this one, like I said, I think it was one of the earliest recordings of a commercial airliner disappearing. And like you said, it's odd that they had radio silence for as long as
it would have taken to get to the destination.
Does that mean
it's going to be the last page I fucking look at, isn't it?
Well, that's usually how it works, unless you keep on looking after you've already found it.
No, I know exactly what the picture looks like because I was interested in it.
The deal with the radio silence, it would have been radio silence no matter what told.
Until they arrived.
Yeah, and they never arrived, so they just stopped listening for it once,
Oh, that's a good point.
It's like you looking for the last page.
That's a very good
That's
point.
really odd. It was radio silent all the way to the same length of time it would have taken them to get to Jamaica. No, they never responded again. It's still going now.
Oh, I wonder if it is. You've heard stories of signals continuing, especially like
but they lost signal. That's the whole thing. They lost radio transmission because it broke.
But who's to say that the pilot wasn't switching frequencies because he was having trouble?
It might have been.
Because I've heard stories of
back stories.
People hearing
distant radio.
repetitive signals from like wartime, and trying to figure out where it's all coming from.
Well, and then there's if the weather's just right, signals can get bounced off of clouds, and you can pick up signals that you normally wouldn't be able to pick up.
All right, I got a couple more pages, and then I'm gonna.
He's calling it. He's going to say it's broke. It's not working. Is there like an index in it that would tell you?
No.
Maybe you forgot. Maybe it's not in there.
No, it's in here.
Maybe you're having a deja vu.
No, it's in here.
These are supposed to be short to the point.
It's probably in the very front of the book, and I'm thinking it's in the very back. So Star Ariel.
Tiger. You got this. Any day now.
3 pages from the original. So the Star Tiger was from 1948, so it was a year.
4.
Exactly, almost exactly. January 17th, 1949, and January 30th, 1948.
So was it a cargo plane?
It was a Tudor aircraft, 29 passenger. So I guess it wasn't the Star Ariel.
Just refilm this because we look like idiots.
No.
We wear it well. So the Tiger was the first one.
The Tiger.
And then the Star Ariel is more popularized because it disappeared almost exactly 1 year to the day.
So this is funny. In order to avoid the typically strong headwinds, Star Tiger had been traveling around 2,000 feet when it mysteriously vanished. No structural failure would have caused any problems at that altitude because there would have been no cabin pressure loss. It was concluded that the Star Tiger could not have fallen into the sea due to being deprived of its radio direction or fuel. That's like, it's not in the sea because I don't think it's in the sea.
I think they're trying to say that due to the radio signal and triangulation, the path it was taking and how much fuel it had, it should have been able to make land.
Yeah.
But there again, that's all speculation because it broke.
Yeah. But it even says in here that the investigative report closed by stating that no more baffling problem had ever been presented for investigation. So they closed it because they couldn't figure it out.
It's just gone. Sorry, guys. 29 passengers.
So let us know what you think.
Maybe the Bermuda Triangle isn't as mysterious. They just were shitty investigators.
Yeah, I think the government's the problem.
Well, it stopped transmitting because it broke. It's like, really? That's what you're saying? It should have not fallen into the water. No, I'm pretty sure it shouldn't have fallen into the water either. But come on now.
And, we don't know what happened because we couldn't figure it out.
Case solved.
Case solved.
Next ticket. Modern day IT crap.
Yeah. That was a great show. The British one. Yeah. So let us know what you have to say about the Bermuda Triangle.
And this whack story. Because it got broke.
Yeah. So until next time.
Be safe.
Keep it whack.
Keep it better than saying keep it whacking. Let's whack along here.